That's like my life in a nutshell now. Like, I'm quickly breathing. Done. Hey friends, so I thought I would show you my kind of go-to mask makeup right now. Skincare and makeup, I guess. I figured I would show you this because it's been working for me. It's really quick and easy, and it stays on pretty well. The only place that I have some breakage is like right where the mask actually sits on my face, and it's not bad, but that's to be expected a little bit. I'm not wearing foundation anymore because it was just sweating off and making me break out, and I felt like it was a waste of product, and quarantine made me used to not wearing a lot of makeup, so feeling better about that, and I've just been rolling with it. This big old bruise over here, I'm pretty sure is from Freya, by the way. She jumps on me really hard in the morning to wake me up. Let's jump into it. So I've been starting with this serum from Ole Henriksen. It's his Banana Bright Vitamin C, and I'm obsessed. This is my second bottle. His original vitamin C serum has been in my routine for most of the last almost 7 years, close to over 6, and I love it. But this one is even better, and it just gives this instant glow. My skin feels amazing. So yeah, and then I go in with this one from Ole too, which I know I've shown before. Has a little bit of a purple shimmery tint. This one has what he calls Retin Ult. It's an alternative to retinol that is sourced from a plant. So more natural, if you have sensitivities, anything like that, but it'll still speed up cellular turnover, just like retinol. I also like to take the extra and just kind of rub it into my hands because they age too, y'all, faster. So the only new thing I'm trying today that I haven't tried yet is this Super Goop. It's their new glow screen. I have a little sample size of it. It looks like it has a tiny tint, but when I've tested it on my hand, it kind of just shears out. So we're gonna see. If you can't tell by all these steps, I love anything that makes me glowy. I do not care if it's too much. I don't think there's such a thing. That's pretty. I like that. Feels really good. So this is meant to work as a primer if you so choose, which it will for me since I'm not doing foundation. So this will kind of prep and prime everything else that I put on. But it does have an SPF 40 in it. So now to the fun things. Oh, I forgot. So I did actually prep my arms with this from Tianlux. It's called The Butter, and I got it during quarantine also, ordered it online. Love that. Smells real good, makes you a little bit glowy, as you can see, and then gives a gradual tan. So I don't have the color yet because I put it on like 1 minute before I started this, but yeah, it's really nice. Okay, so this is brand new from Fenty. It technically came out in March, but nobody was open, and I finally got it. So I have the shade 3 Macchiato, which is like this. I used this yesterday for the first time, and it is one of the greatest things I've ever used. I know, I say that with caution, so you know I really mean it. I have this brush from Sephora collection. It's kind of like rounded and domed, and I'm just gonna grab some product like this and then just work it in just right under my cheekbone and into my hairline. You can see it's a really natural flush of color, but it literally melts into the skin. Like, it's really, really nice. I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but this is by far the greatest cream product I have ever used. I actually don't prefer cream most of the time, which is interesting because I have such dry skin, but I don't because they either don't blend well, they don't wear well, they separate, whatever. There's always some reason that I don't keep grabbing them. And the best one I had found was also Fenty. It was the sticks, but they were a little too drying for every day for me. But that's what I had been wearing until I found this. So you can see I've got it on this side. And it just gives like healthy color. Yeah. I'm gonna take a little under my jawline. And then always make sure you blend your neck. Like, I'm obsessed. I'm just taking a little bit on the sides of my nose. I don't really contour my nose unless I'm doing a very specific look, and it's rare, but I do really like to put some color on it because that's where you would get sun naturally. So yeah, that's it for that. Get this, just do it, just go get it because it's incredible. Then I move on to concealer. I've shown you this before. These are my two that I use. The other new product that I tried for the first time, new to me, it's not actually new, it's the Hourglass powder. We just got it in our store and it's amazing. So I'm just gonna get a little bit into the cap. You don't need a lot of this. I am a little heavy-handed with a powder compared to some, but yeah, so it's in my cap like this, but it just has the most beautiful finish ever. And the two products that I added, so the Fenty that I did first and then this, I wore them yesterday, went about my normal day, worked, wore a mask all day, was very hot, sweated. I was sweating, and my skin looked better than I have seen it in a long time. So I love this because I feel like I just look like me, just like a little bit, you know, perfected. Brush hair on me. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with some setting spray because I will touch my face a little bit doing these other steps, and I like to go ahead and set if I think of it. I am going to take this from Fenty. This is in the color Puppy Eyes. And I'm gonna grab this little brush. that is not clean. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, it's just a flat, like dense shut brush. So you don't have to use anything in particular. This is my absolute favorite thing to do for eyes. I started doing this at like the end of 2019 and it's my go-to eye look now, with any color that you want to do. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go really close to my lash line and just make a really super uneven, don't really care about it line, but I want it to touch my lash line. So you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. And I'm gonna take this little brush and I'm gonna work upward and just kind of smudge it out. Sometimes I'll kind of go back and forth depending on, like if I'm going slower and it's drying a little bit. For the most part, you basically just pull it up kind of to about your crease or really wherever you want. And then you get this really nice, like shadowy, smoky effect with one product and one step. And then I do a little in the corner and then same thing, just kind of smoke that out. And I like a color like this for every day because it doesn't really look like a lot. It just kind of brings out my eye color. But yeah, I love having something on my eyes when I'm wearing a mask because that's all people can see. So I feel like, because I used to be more about like complexion, and I mean, I still am, but people aren't seeing it. So right now I feel like if I spend a little more time on my eyes, that is just, you know, more like in the moment for the world right now. So yeah, you can see just kind of like little smoky effect. Now I'm gonna do a brow. Done this a million times. Might cut this off camera, but this is a two-step from Urban Decay. It's called Brow Blade. So I use the pencil side first. And then I'm gonna flip to the other side, which is this little tiny, I don't know if you can see it, brush side. And I create little like hair-like strokes with this. Oops, I'm knocking stuff over. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I'm gonna start at the very, very, very front of my brow. I place my hand on my face and then I'm just gonna barely go like this. Like little tiny strokes. And I am basically not pressing. It's very pigmented. And you don't need much at all. Especially when it's brand new, the longer you have it, of course, you know, the less product is in there and you can be a little heavier handed if you want. But you don't really need to be. So if you can see, it just adds a fullness to the brow that my natural brow doesn't have. See? Super quick, super easy, love it. Okay, then I'm gonna take my Kush Brow in Dutch. This is from Milk Makeup. This is a new one, so I'm gonna have to be really light with it because they're really pigmented. So I just start at the base of my brow and just swipe up. Again, I'm really feeling feathered brows, have been for a while. So I'm brushing mine straight up and I'm just letting them look a little crazy because I kind of like that. I did get it up here a little bit. But before it dries, you can kind of just lightly like fix that, no big deal. You can see, just adds a fullness. So it's, these actually have a fiber in them that gives the appearance that you truly have a fuller brow. It doesn't wash off all weird like some fibers. Their mascara is the same way, which is amazing. It's in my top 2 faves. They're Kush mascara. But I love this because even when I'm not doing like anything to my brow and I just throw this in, I can actually make it look like I have a fuller brow in the areas that are sparse even with nothing else. So yeah. But again, I'm more about eyes. I always like a strong brow. I have a long face. I have kind of a dark brow, so I just roll with it. But especially now when like all you see is syrup, I like it. So oh, I forgot highlighter earlier. What am I doing? So my Nato brush, this is the loose highlighter from Becca. It's in the color Champagne Pop, which in the other formulas I'm not a huge fan of on my skin, but for some reason in the loose formula, I feel like the color looks different and I love it. This has been my favorite highlighter for a while. Normally I put a lot above my lip, but I don't anymore because nobody sees it. So I just take the excess just to kind of say I did and feel good about that, but nobody cares. And then I really go for it on my cheekbones. People don't see a lot of that anymore either, but I do. And I care. So yeah. And then I just pat around the brow a little bit, and then I take whatever's left and go down on the cheek because I like, it's a glow, like you know. So right here, under, over the brow, a little more, under and over the brow, and right on the apple of the cheek. So yeah, that's that. Okay, mascara, and we are done. Finally have a tube of my fave again. So I roll on top of my lashes first, like this. Learned this from Benefit, my very first year at Sephora. It's been a long time. And you'll see I'm kind of wiggling back and forth through. So this is the technique that they recommend with this mascara. I actually use this technique with every mascara now on myself and others. And then I like to make my my lashes fullest at the end, so I roll again, and I always add the most product out here so that I get a really slight like cat eye or almond shape. But yeah, they call this the bump and wiggle because you're bumping up while you're wiggling back and forth, and it coats every single lash, and then you get a lot of definition and separation while still getting your length, volume, and curl. So I don't know how well you can see, but if I turn, there you go. I don't know. I don't know how to do all these angles, but anyway. And then I don't necessarily want a whole nother coat, but I do want to give a little extra lift. So I'm going to go in without grabbing more product and just wiggle through. So it's kind of like I'm doing a second coat, but I'm not actually adding much more mascara, but you can see that actually gives a little extra length and curl. So when you let it dry a little bit like that and then go in a second time, your lashes will kind of move a little bit more. That's one reason this is my all-time favorite mascara. I have about a million reasons. It really, really has been my favorite for a super, super long time. but as much as you put on, it doesn't get clumpy because of the way that brush is made, so it's great. So that is that. And then last very important step during this mask wearing, lips are super dry, just like the rest of the face, but lips are way worse. So this is a new one that I have from Lancome. It actually is a new product. I don't remember what it's called. Mademoiselle Balm. I have 008, which is kind of this like really nudish shade, but I'm just gonna apply a little bit. It has a little bit of color, but not a lot. But it is really hydrating. It's plumping. Not that anybody will see, because they will not, because I will have a mask on the whole time. But I really like it. So yeah, and it's moisturizing. That's the most important part. I use my Laneige lip balm a lot of days. Lip gloss is fine too, but it can stick to the mask a little bit more, so I like a balm or something like that. But you really do need the hydration under the mask. So I'm gonna spray one last time. Dry, dry, dry. It dries on its own, but this always makes me feel like I'm doing something. And that is that. So this is I promise it's actually quick when I'm not like just taking my time and talking and all that. But yeah, I obviously didn't fix my hair today. It's really hot. It's in the 90s for the 1 millionth day in a row. I'm not complaining because I was very cold all the time in Montana, so trust me, I'm really excited about it, but it is hot. So I'm not wearing my hair down today because I just don't want to. But yeah, so that's that. It's very, very natural, but I highly recommend every product I used. Two most important for this look are the cream bronzer from Fenty Beauty and the Hourglass translucent setting powder. So those are definitely the ones that I feel like make the biggest impact, and are unlike other ones that I've tried, whereas a lot of the products you could switch out for something, you know, that you use or that you like or whatever the case may be. So yeah. Oh, glowy. Oh, I love this stuff. It's amazing. All those glowy products we used. But anyway, so yeah, hope you're having a fabulous Saturday or whatever day it is now, because I probably won't post this today. But anyway, hope you're enjoying your day, staying safe, staying well, and wearing your masks. Yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.